now under 500, despite having 2 All-Stars. More on that later also. And here's the deal. Your guy, Danny Ainge,
my guy,
has to go.
Danny Ainge, of course.
He knows it. Celtics fans know it. Yeah, it's time. He was gifted the greatest draft bounty in NBA history in the Pearson-Garnett trade. He's got 2 great players to show for it in Tatum and Brown, and can build nothing around them. Each year, it's like, oh, is this no, it's not the year. And in fact, right now, they're terrible. They have a great coach, so you can't blame him. They have 2 All-Stars, you can't blame them. So whose job is it to round out the roster, to actually draft quality players in the middle of the first round, to pick free agents, to not lose Gordon Hayward for nothing? Jenna, Danny Ainge, good news for you. You might actually get to talk to him. Because you know what I think, Jenna? I think Danny Ainge, this time next year, is going to be a first things first basketball correspondent. Because he shouldn't be an NBA GM anymore.
Take it in,
It's run its course.
How's that going to work?
It's a good run,
Nick,
Danny Ainge.
It's
but
a feudal campaign.
Go back television.
Danny's not going anywhere. Danny's fine where he is. He has solidified himself in Celtic lore, number 44 way back in the day. General manager today. He's turning it all around, and if he doesn't, look at that picture. Look at that
Kevin Garnett's not walking through that door.
It's
I
over,
can see us opening Stormy morning.
It's
Danny
over.
Ainge. No,
They need a change.
Just wait.
Get over it.
They need a
They're
change.
at the halfway mark. Give them a second. Give Danny a beat to do his thing. Everything's going to be fine. And while we wait that beat, let us talk about the Pittsburgh Steelers. The big question facing Pittsburgh, do you bring Big Ben back? The guy was undefeated through 11 weeks last year, looked great. But then he struggled a little down the stretch, and he is owed a ton of money next year. So what do you do? Well, President Art Rooney reportedly told Ben, hey, we do want you back. Ben's agent said they're open to reworking the contract, which was the huge elephant in the room, obviously. So, Brandon, it looks like it's Big Ben once again under center. Is that the right move for Pittsburgh?
Ooh. I feel like I'm about to contradict myself. You know, all last year, you know, we're talking about Tom Brady being 43 years of age. And, you know, for me, I'm standing on the table talking about I believe in the veteran quarterback. I'm the one that's standing on the table talking about Tom Brady was supposed to punch his own ticket out of New England, out of Foxborough. And it was because of how Tom Brady was actually producing. And then on the other end, you got Big Ben. He's a veteran quarterback. And it's like, wow, the value that you guys bring to the organization and to the locker room Monday through Friday, it's invaluable. A rookie quarterback can't do that. Bringing in someone else who don't understand the system, don't understand the head coach, don't understand the culture, it's going to be hard for them to do that. We saw that in New England with Cam Newton. So for me, I feel like I'm a walking contradiction because I think that this may be the best situation for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But, you know, Big Ben, man, it's not looking good. We talked about it yesterday. Is Big Ben contemplating retirement? Should he be contemplating retirement? I personally think he should. But when you look at the situation, what else do you have out there? So Nick, to me, you know, this is less about Big Ben, to be honest with you. I know that's the question. To me, it's more about Coach Tomlin. Like, his legacy is on the line here. Like, are you really going to go down with this sinking ship? Right? Like, because that's what it looks like. Well, Tom Brady
that's the
still
thing. You're
going
not
to the playoffs.
Yeah, you're not a contradiction here, Brandon. You can believe in Tom Brady, who has the TB12 method, and not believe in Big Ben, who has the beer and golf method. You can believe in certain aging quarterbacks. It doesn't mean you have to believe in the aging quarterback that just got dog-walked by their little brother in the division. I think he just threw another interception in that football game. So, listen, this is a very, very odd place for the Steelers to be in. Brandon, you're my age. You're from Pittsburgh. I think this is going to be maybe the first year of your life that the Steelers go into a season not thinking they're contending for a Super Bowl. Not thinking we are, we say all the time, there are certain teams that are just trying to make the playoffs, hang on, and then there's certain teams that every year are contending for the Super Bowl. The Steelers, our entire lives, have been in that, and by the way, before our lives, in the 70s as well. Their whole organizational history has been about competing for championships. You can't be competing for a championship if you are willingly signing up for damn near a 40-year-old quarterback who is the worst quarterback in the division. That's the other part of this. Well, Lamar's better, Baker's better, and if Joe Burrow's knee's healthy, he's better, Brandon.
Well, let's go to Tom Brady, and we debated this all year until he hoisted that Lombardi trophy. You was like, he just can't get it done. I'm not looking at can he throw it 60, 70 yards down the field anymore. I'm not looking at can Tom Brady or a veteran quarterback throw for 400 yards a game and compete with the Patrick Mahomes of the world and the Russell Wilsons. That's not what I'm expecting out of my veteran quarterback. What I am expecting out of my veteran quarterback, and one of the reasons why I believed in Tom Brady and why he could get it done, is because of the value that they add when they walk into that locker room. Everybody gets better, and you heard me say it before. The grounds crew, the owner, the general manager, the scout team, everybody just automatically get better. And the issue here with Big Ben is, situational football. Are you going to make the right decision? We saw down the stretch he was making the wrong decision and throwing interceptions. And also, I don't think he has that Tom Brady effect. I don't think he walks into the organization, everybody, oh, that's Big Ben. Let me straighten up. Let me act like I'm watching film. Let me act like I'm taking notes. Let me get a couple more catches on the jug. I don't think that's true. You said it yesterday, like his off-season workout is what? Yoga and a beer? Like, I mean, I just don't think this is a smart move by the Pittsburgh Steelers. My Pittsburgh Steelers that I grew up watching. I just think it's time for us to figure out what does the future look like. And that doesn't mean next year, that means right now.
Well, and that's the thing. Because I think some people would say, well, Nick, they wouldn't be, if they just moved on from Ben this offseason, they're still in 2021 not competing for a Super Bowl. And that's accurate. But you need to, now what they are doing by holding on to Big Ben, I would argue, is not only guaranteeing that in 2021 they're not competing for a Super Bowl, but guaranteeing that in 2022 they're not either. Because it's very rare you get to go Favre to Rodgers, right? It's very rare you go Manning to Luck. Usually there is a transitional period. It's what the Saints are going through this year. It's what the Patriots went through last year. It's what the Chargers got lucky, even though Phillip Rivers wasn't a Super Bowl quarterback. He was a great quarterback for a long time, but he was bad enough at the end. They got Justin Herbert, and now their transition will be abbreviated. The Steelers are delaying the transition. And Tomlin's a good enough coach, and the defense is good enough. I don't think even if Big Ben deteriorates more, they're going to be drafting in the top 5 next year. So the Band-Aid does need to be ripped off. And I get why Big Ben wants to come back. And I understand the Rooney family and the Steelers organization, they want him to be a lifelong Steeler. They want it to be a graceful exit. I get all of that. But if you're a Steeler fan, this is not good for you. If you're a Big Ben fan, fine. But if you're a fan of the Steelers, this is not good for you for this season or the following season, Brandon.
Yeah, Nick, I beat up on Bill Belichick for cutting ties with Tom Brady, the 42-year-old Tom Brady. I wouldn't beat up on Coach Tomlin if he moved on from Big Ben right now. Jenna, to me, you cut ties with Big Ben. You double down on your defense because that is the strength of this team right now. That gives you the best opportunity to win. And you may go find a guy like a stopgap quarterback. Maybe it's Cam Newton. Maybe it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. Maybe you go get Andy Dalton and you try to figure it out. But you got to start that transition right now.
All right,
or maybe they could have
can just roll it back. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, they could have done what the Saints did last year, which is get Jay